Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US indices. It's the 19th of December in Sydney. So the SP 500, we're tracking two counts here. First count is the flat correction, which is the WXY and as wave 4, and we're looking for 3 waves down here in this case in terms of an A wave, a B wave, and 5 waves down for this C wave down through here. So the other count is where we have a top in place here of wave 5, and we have this down here as wave 1 and back for wave 2 here. And that would obviously give us a much deeper move to the downside. Both counts will be roughly the same in terms of the intraday counts, so they're not really going to affect our trading at all. The resistance now would be this, what I call in terms of the trading levels, the medium level here at 2500, simply halfway between 2000 and 3000, and it will play out, and we can expect some type of correction across this space here. So you'll just need to be mindful if you've been short coming down through here, then looking at taking some profit close or at the 2500 area. We'll have a look at that in a moment. But in a nutshell, like with all levels, we really want to see the market will move down. It will have some sort of bounce and then move down. And, you know, we want it to migrate from being support to being resistance. So having this reference point low here would be a catalyst for trading further down at that point. Okay, so we need a very clear indication that we have the 2500 as a retested resistance. Now, it's important not to get too trigger happy around this space in here. So this is a time to observe, and we're coming into Christmas as well. So we'll probably see lower volume as well. So we'll probably see this number being quite sticky. It will probably make a liar out of me and just slice straight through, but that will be okay too, because we're really looking for this pattern here, which I call a classic trading levels pattern. So anyway, let's go in and have a look at the wave count from B down to C here. And even if it is 2 here coming down to 3, well, which will become obviously much lower in all of this, they'll still have roughly the same count. So moving into the 4-hour chart here. So just counting it from wave B here down to wave C here, we're looking at 5 waves down. So we can look at this as 5 waves here as wave 1 and back for wave 2 here, a little bit small, and then wave 1 and 2 again. I must point out that on the Nasdaq, it's a bit of a different story. We've got the Nasdaq as this being wave 2 here as such, but I'll talk about that in a moment, because this rally here on the Nasdaq went higher than this wave 2 here. So slightly different count within all of that. So we just need to be a little bit mindful of that. And maybe I've made a mistake in here, and maybe this wave 2 should be sitting over here as an A and a B and a C. But I can get 5 waves out of this move down through here. And this one up here doesn't really look like a 5 wave impulse wave for wave C, because it would have to be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here. It doesn't count very well like that. So we do have a couple of problems, you know, with the wave structure itself. But yeah, look, as it stands at the moment, we're looking at this is wave 2, and then wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 coming into play here. So this will drop a little bit lower in through here. You know, target areas to the downside here can be 24 to 2350 area through here, but you never really know with the Elliott count when the Elliott count is working large numbers here. The Elliott count can be skewed and pulled around by large orders at large numbers. So Yeah, just need to be a little bit mindful. Sometimes they're a bit hard to read. But the main point with all of this, we have been trading short. We do need to take some profit. We're going to sit back and observe, and we'll all be getting into the guessing game of what's what and this count and that count. But as it matures, it will become clearer and clearer. But as I mentioned, that this will be support, and the next trades that we really want will have this as resistance here. We may be able to get some more trade in on some of these bounces here if the bounce is clear in terms of being corrective. Okay, so keep your guns in your pocket until we get this sorted out through here. So moving into the hourly chart, where we look at our trade signals somewhat, and right, so we're looking at 5 waves down here for wave 1 and back for wave 2. Didn't pull back to the 50-60% retracement level. It was basically skewed a little bit because of this large number. And on the Nasdaq, we've got this wave 2 sitting here, but I don't get 5 waves in this structure here. But anyway, I'll put that there just as a bit, just been keeping it there just to sort of, might need it in terms of recounting or something. But the count coming to the downside here, we were looking at this as wave 1 here and wave 2 here, and then looking at this here as I've got 1 in here, 2 in here, 5 waves for the 3rd wave in here, and then the 4th and the 5th here. So to make the 3rd wave, the 4th wave here is a little bit small, so I sort of scratched my head about that. And the next move down through here is a bit wobbly as well, but basically wave 1 and 2 here, nice strong 3rd wave here, ABC for the 4th and down for the 5th wave here. So when we get this 5th wave here, it may not pull all the way down to the 2500 here. We've had moves back over here on the daily chart that never touched the 2500 area here, but let's just see how we go. I'll have a look on the tick chart in a moment. But that being the case, we should see any move down through here as wave 3 should see wave 4 pull back to the 38.2% or to the wave of 2 lesser degrees really in here. But let's just grab this top here as wave 2, and let's just put that right there for the time being. If it goes lower, then we'll need to adjust that. But that's the 38.2% retracement level. So we can have a look at the wave 4. Well, it's not really of 1 lesser degree. It's really up here for that wave 4. So really, I mean, technically we would be there with it. But this would be the first point of resistance. If there was going to be a move to the upside here, then obviously this is where the supply is, the orders are, the sellers. So we would see some type of move to here, then back again, which would pull back 50 or 60%, and then another move up here. So just need to be a little bit mindful of where that wave 4 is going to go. You'll see that I've got a wave 2 here, a wave 2 here for this here. That's kind of based on this. If this is wave 2 here, right, then I would need to look at, first of all, let's get rid of the, what's the name? So let's copy that. So it's possible that if this is going to be wave 2 here, then all of this here can be wave 1 to this point. I'm going to grey it out here a little bit, dull it out a little bit there. And then wave 2 can come back up to this space here. Okay, that would be roughly the 50. Where when we get the low in and it starts to make that starts to unfold, we'll have the low. We'll know where we're looking at. But basically, that would be the 50-60% retracement level from that high here down to this low here. So that's another possibility that I need to just put on the table. So if that's the case and you've got short trades in, that's why I've got this PP here to take some part profit here. We'll have a look at this in a moment, but we might need to put, currently I'll just put it on that low here. We might need to, we can adjust it down further, but I'll just have a look at that in a moment. But yeah, it can go back up to wave 2 here and then go down into wave 3. That would be the bigger bearish picture, in fact. But either way, as I mentioned before, we're going to expect the market to bounce like a ball dropping on the ground across the 2500 area here. Okay. The other point here too is that we need, that's okay so far. Let me just check this. We want this wave 3 here to be longer. This is something that we're toying around with the Nasdaq, in fact. Here, if I copy that. Well, okay, well that's something, isn't it? So, oops-a-daisy. From there to there. Still, if we call this wave 1 here and wave 2 here, then this wave 3 here, that needs to be, you know, longer than wave 1 as such. So we'd still need to see it lower here, but that's okay because I've got this here so far as wave 3 low here, coming back for a wave 4 into this base, and then wave 5 coming down here somewhere. I'll just go into the tick chart and have a little bit of a look at that there. Might have to adjust this a little bit here. Okay, so we've got, just to bring in the fold, we've got wave 1 here, wave 2 here, wave 1 here, ABC for wave 2. Now the Nasdaq is different. This on the Nasdaq came higher than this one here, which we'll look at. So I've got wave 2 here sitting over here for the Nasdaq. We'll get to that. This, yeah. So with this here, I was counting this down here. The only problem I've got with this count, I've got wave 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the third wave. Fourth wave a bit small, but 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here. And then I'm glad that's made a new low here because it's got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So, you know, it may not go much lower than where it is actually is at the moment. This is 100 ticks. Yeah. Still, so on this count, this is slightly different and this is fine. This makes this wave 4 come back to, no, it's still this one up here, but that's the 38.2 from, if we made that low down here. But if I put that on that point there, let's just see how that pans out here. That would leave wave 4 sitting here. So pretty much retesting the only problem I've got with this count here, by the by, just for people that want to get into a bit more detail, is this situation here. I can count 5 waves down here, but then all of this is wave 2 over here makes it a little bit complicated, and I don't know if that's the case here. So it's possible, probably the logical thing would do to move that from here to here, and then that would make this an A wave, a B wave, and 5 waves up for a C wave here. That would be okay, but I still don't get 5 waves down here. So I've got a bit of a problem in here if somebody wants to sort that out and take that on board. But it does leave me with it would leave me with an extra wave here. So yeah, so that means that if I've made a mistake, I can't draw on this side of the tick chart, but basically we could get one more move back to this wave 4, then down to here, and then up to here. So let's just go back to the hourly chart here. I'm sort of working on the hop here, but I just like to explain some of my problems, not my issues, but my problems. So yeah, so we could actually go back to here, down to here for the third wave, and then go back up to here. So it's going to get bumpy here, whichever it is. I mean, on here, yeah. So the problem was in this little section here. But anyway, I've waffled on enough. Let's look at the Nasdaq. But before we do that, I just want to go to Amazon. I mean, and Alphabet as well. I mean, Alphabet, I'm not going to get into the count here, but you can see that Alphabet is bouncing along the $1,000 mark, which is trading level 1 there. Don't worry about the count too much. So it's all getting a bit skewed up in there, but the Amazon one I was more interested in. So with this one here, we can see I was looking from B down to C here, and looking for 5 waves down here. So it's kind of obvious that we've got wave 1 here, and then we've got some sort of wave 3 here. It could be that let's just go to the hourly chart here and just see what I've done. Okay, this is what I've done here. So from B here, we got wave 1 here. I can't figure out this top here as well. So that's another job for somebody. If somebody wants to label that in here, I've gone right down to a 20 tick chart and still can't sort of get it right. Because it would make a difference if there was an extra wave in here, then I'd have to put blue wave 1 over here. So, but yeah, just on eyeballing it straight up, wave 1 and 2 here, then 1 and 2 here, and then all of this, the third wave here, the bounce for the fourth wave that can pull back to, well, pretty much where it is, a bit more complicated, and then down for the fifth wave and the fourth. This also, the 1500 here and the 1650, they're what I call a medium level in regards to the trading levels. You can go to Trading Lounge website and there'll be a free course there on trading levels. Not all the sub levels, just the major levels, the medium levels and the minor levels. The sub levels and micro levels won't be on that, but it'll give you an idea of what we're talking about. Anyway, support at 1500. We can expect this to be bouncing across here as well, which also leaves the Nasdaq at a medium level as well, which is the 6,500. So when we look at the Nasdaq here, the 6,500 is simply halfway between two major trading levels. So 5,000 and 8,000 are major trading levels, and the 6.5 here is a medium level. And as I mentioned before, when we're approaching this is going to be a sticky number here. Okay, so as you can see here, on the S&P 500, this is an hourly chart here. On the S&P 500, we've had this wave 2 here lower, so I've been able to put this wave 1 over here, and this wave 2 over here, then have this wave 1 here, and wave 2 here, and so on down. But in this case, I can't do that. So one of the things that concerns me here is that I can't put, if I'm counting this, I can't put this as wave 3 here because it will be shorter than wave 1. So this is basically the length of wave 1 here, roughly, right? For this green. So then if I put that here, then that's where wave 3 has got to be at minimum down here. So will we reach that level down here? Will we reach 6.2 and 6.3 down here? So yeah, it's shorter. So I've labeled it a little bit differently, and it's probably wrong, but for the first instance, we've got wave 1 here and wave 2 here, and then we've got 1 and 2 in here, and 3 and 4 and 5 for the third wave, a small wave 4, then 1 and 2 here, and 3 here, and 4 here, and looking to make a new low here. So I would like to label it the same as the S&P 500 as wave, coming into wave 3 here a bit, but I'm just not getting that. So yeah, I'm not quite sure about this, but what we can do is we can say to ourselves, well, we want this, this 6,500 is going to be the support. We can expect some vibrations across here, so the market will come down, and then it's going to have some sort of corrective rally here. Now it's either going to come back up to here, or it's just going to come back up somewhere into this area here and then come back down again as well. So it's going to spend some time in this area through here. This is probably not finished. We'd still expect this to move down a bit lower here, taking out this low before seeing this corrective move through here. So yeah, a bit of a tough spot, but the main point here is that whichever way we look at it, from here as wave 1 and 2 here, and then even if I did call this wave 3 here, then we'll call wave 4 here, would still be down here at wave 5 as well. So this whole structure is not finished. So what we need to do is just keep the stop out of the way. Just keeping the stop above the 62% mark from wherever the low is, then we'll be safe on that. So we've got short trades in here, 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 and here, and we can add some more into here, but I want to line this up with Amazon and also with with the S&P 500 as well. So we know that we're going to be into a bumpy road here. So it's no point in putting more trades in here and getting top heavy at this stage. It's better to stay lighter, stay safer, and we can look to add in once whatever's going to occur here matures. Then it will shed light on it, and we can move down from that point there. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to leave it at that. I've waffled on enough. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.